Now, one question is there, why we need ethics in civil service examination? Why we need? After all, since 2013, the UPSC has introduced this paper. What would have been the purpose? What was the purpose of UPSC, right? So I have prepared some certain things. What is the feasibility of UPSC? What is the importance of ethics paper in this exam? Why we need ethics? This one, to get rid of these dilemmas in decision making, to do justice with all the stakeholders in a particular situation. As I've said you, ethics is about doing justice with all the stakeholders. So the first point is underperformance. For example, see, in an organization, you might have heard one word. There are some persons, person A, person B, person C, person D, right? This organization, have you heard about underperformance of the organization? You might have heard about VRS service, VRS facility. People are voluntarily getting retired. Government also gives proposal, if somebody wants to retire, get himself retired, take retirement. Clear? So there's an organization, and in every organization, number of persons are working. So in this organization, there's underperformance. If there's a problem of underperformance in a particular organization, what is the use of any organization? What is the use of any public office? If a public office is not producing or accomplishing its target or the purpose it has been established, suppose if a public welfare department is there and there are lots of complaints, the performance is not good of that particular department, then it is the wastage of money. It is the wastage of money of the stakeholders, of the people, because we are paying taxes. The government's money is not the government's money, it's the people's money. So everybody is honest. Everybody in the department is honest. Everybody is diligent, sincere. It is said, many people say, we are honest. I am honest. That's all I know. I am honest. I have nothing to do with other people. So suppose if everybody is working, you are the students, the stakeholders, I am your faculty of ethics. Other people in the management, they are also working hard. I am also working hard. You are also working hard. But if no student is getting selected, then what is the use of this class? This is called underperformance. This organization is meant for, is not accomplished, is not fulfilled. Then what is the use of appointing public servants? It's a wastage of money. It's a wastage of public resources, right? And this is to answer such kind of questions, or not only answer, but to make all the future bureaucrats understand, to maintain performance of the organization. There was introduction of ethics in civil service examination, right? So I'll discuss the solutions. Meanwhile, I'm discussing what is the use of, why ethics in civil service examination. Okay. Now, the next one is truth versus honesty. There are some such kind of dilemmas occurring with civil servants. Then you are basically trapped between truth and honesty. Truth says, help the poor. Truth says, help the deprived. But honesty says, be honest to your responsibility. Be honest to your office. Be honest to your position. Clear? Truth says, there is no India, there is no Pakistan, there is no China, there is no America, there is no France. On this earth, there is no wall. There is no natural wall or natural boundaries. Truth says, we are all humans. Honesty says, no, we are Indians. Somebody is American. Others are Germans. Somebody is Chinese. So there is a conflict. What should we serve? We should serve humanity or we should serve the nation? Because truth says nothing is beyond humanity. Honesty says nothing is beyond our own nation. So when there's a clash between truth and honesty, we are getting into ethical dilemmas. Clear? So to get rid of these dilemmas, we need ethics in civil service examination. Next one, purpose of the policy versus criteria of the policy. Purpose of the policy. For example, to help a certain section of society, and every policy has some certain criteria. So what is important, purpose of the policy or the criteria of the policy? So to answer such kind of questions in examination, and when you become the civil servant, to tackle with such kind of dilemmas in decision making, we have ethics. We need ethics. Good action versus right action. What is good action? If somebody is begging money and you happen to pass by him, you paid him, you give him some money, you feel good. But at the same time, you know it is encouraging the process of begging. Clear? So this is a dilemmatic situation. So to answer such kind of questions, we are going to learn ethics. Clear? Next one is impartiality and neutrality versus empathy and compassion. People say, if you ask anyone, what should a civil servant be? He would say, impartial, neutral. The four pillars of democracy: legislative, the executive, the judiciary, and the media. They should be neutral. They should be impartial. But sometimes You see, there's a free ration policy for crores of people. There's reservation to uplift the backward sections of society. There are reserved seats for women in a particular train. There are some certain welfare schemes for certain sections. So if we are neutral and impartial, do you think we can have such kind of justification? We can have certain policies for some certain sections of society? I am paying tax, but I am not taking free rations. And the government of India is providing free rations on the basis of the taxes we are paying. So this is not neutrality. This is not impartiality. So while executing a policy or while making a policy, the executive or the legislative, they are confused. So to get rid of such confusions, we have ethics, integrity, and aptitude. So this is the relevance of this paper, so that when you become a civil servant, you should not be confused. Because if you are getting confused while taking a decision, do you think that you can do justice with your job? No, you cannot. And that is why we have ethics in this civil service examination. Next one, ideal versus practical versus real. Ideologically, we have learned something. A reality is something different, and practically, we realize something else. So if a very common man gets such kind of dilemma, such kind of problems, it will not affect the process, the big process. But being a civil servant, if you are getting confused, if you are not able to decide what I have read ideally, what is practical, what is real, then it will be a huge setback. It will be a huge setback. Okay. Now, national interest versus regional interest. It happens many a time. For example, CAA. For example, one nation, one election. For example, caste census. Many things may be beneficial for on a national level, but it may be harmful from a regional aspect. And you are the appointed district magistrate in a particular district somewhere where a national policy is not that much popular due to some regional conditions. What will you do? And that is why we have to read ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Clear? Okay. Now next one is duty versus humanity, and then adherence to law versus conscience. Right means versus right purpose. Right means versus right purpose. Gandhiji said, come what may, even if we are not able to achieve the purpose, means must be right. But what is the use of a law? What is the use of our good conduct if we are not able to achieve purpose? So somebody says that we should think of the purpose. Other people say, no, we should take care of our means, the ways we work. We'll discuss what is the solution of this problem, and this is the relevance of ethics in civil service examination. Now, development versus environment, and the next one is security and confidentiality versus RTI. Right to information is an act enshrined in the Constitution. It gives everyone the authority to ask questions, to get information. But sometimes, not only about security or confidentiality, sometimes if you reveal the particular data to a particular organization against the RTI, it may be misused against the nation or against the particular department. So what should be the solution? We'll discuss. The next one is religious values versus gender equality and social justice. In Sabrimala temple, religious values suggest that women of menstrual age should not enter the temple. But gender equality says both men and women are equal. There mustn't be any kind of bias between them. And you are the district magistrate there, where you have to make sure that whether it is a man or a woman, they should be allowed to enter the temple. But there's a huge ruckus. There's a huge demonstration of people, local people. They are on a spree of even killing. They are even willing to sacrifice their lives for their religious values. They are not willing to let any woman enter the temple. So what will you do there? Jallikuttu issues. One side, animal rights. Second side, religious values. You might have heard about the issues of burqa and hijab. There was a huge dispute. At times in our country, such disputes are occurring. So do you think that what should be done? What should be done in such a situation? So we'll have some certain formulae. Absolutely, there's a clash between Article 25 and 26. There are many different kind of problems are lying in different scenarios as per situations. So this is the relevance of ethics. That's why we are learning ethics for civil service examination.